Just talk, basically. I'll cut it up, so don't worry about it.
Make me sound smart.
Who are you?
They make me look taller. Hello. My name is Tracy Tubera. I am the art director.
How tall are you?
I'm 8 feet tall. I weigh over 1,000 pounds.
Your
Gravity
shoes
can't
are
hold me.
really big.
Yes, they are size 50. Double F, I guess. That's really weird. But I work for a great talented man named Rob Dyrdek. I am his art director on the brand Wild Grinders, which is a toy line / cartoon, soon to be cartoon, based off of Rob's adventures as a kid. And that's me in a nutshell.
So tell me about how you started doing art and describe, briefly Chubb City and just your history and what you're passionate about.
Yeah, I started, I guess the first story I can remember about me and art was that my mom told me that I started drawing before I started writing. And I remember my first drawing, it was in green crayon, and it was a drawing of a cowboy and a horse. But the cowboy's legs were touching the ground, and he was sitting on the horse. So obviously I had no idea about anatomy nor perspective at the time. But that's how I got started. I love comic books. I'm a complete dork. I love comic books. I collected toys and comic books for the longest time. I think that's what helped me continue drawing. Because I'd read comic books and wonder dude, how'd they draw this? How'd they draw that? Comic books really helped me understand perspective and anatomy. I went to Cal State Long Beach, graduated with an illustration degree there. And while I was in college, one of my best friends, Cheeto Oriano, he got me a job at a small surf clothing company called Koi Clothing. And that's when I kind of started doing freelance stuff, and I started doing t-shirt designs first in the surf industry. And, we did that hustle for a while. Then eventually, he got a job over at Vision Skateboards. Does anybody remember Vision?
Yeah,
Okay.
I skated for him for a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know Vision. And he got a freelance gig over there, and then it just started getting too heavy for him. So he was like, hey man, you want to take over for me? This was the time when I was totally heavy into skateboarding. So dude, I'll totally work there. So I started doing some freelance stuff for Vision. I helped them start up a sub-brand they had in there called Shove It Skateboards. Did a majority of all their t-shirt graphics and skateboard graphics. And then
I remember Shove It.
You remember Shove It?
Yeah.
Some of my good stuff. Actually, some of my bad stuff too, because I'm still learning how to do stuff. But I did stuff for them, and then Brad Dorfman, the owner of Vision, he wanted to bring Vision streetwear shoes back to America, and I love collecting shoes too. Another one of my stupid addictions: shoes, toys, and comic books. No drugs though. Stay off the drugs, kids. He wanted someone to design shoes, and I was like, dude, I'll do it. I had never designed shoes in my life, but I tried doing it, and then I ended up designing 4 or 5 seasons of shoes for Vision. I think they're the Trace 2, which named after me, was one of their best-selling shoes in Australia for a while. So I did that, and then a lot more freelance stuff, t-shirt designs, random skateboard companies, and then I just wanted a full-time job, and my other buddy, Roman Cortez, yes, I'm a name dropper, but no one knows who these people are. He got a job at Hot Wheels. I was like, dude, can you get me a job at Mattel? I love toys. And he was like, there's no openings here for you because you suck. And I was like, all right, cool. But then he told me about another company that was starting up, and they're going to have a toy department, and that was Jada Toys. So I sent him my portfolio, and then my boss at that time, he found me, liked my stuff. He's like, dude, you're perfect for this little toy line we're trying to start, which is called Chubb City. And Chubb City was basically a toy line. It was their kids' version of Dub City, which was this die-cast line about customized cars with big rims, stuff like that. So they wanted to do a kids' version of it. So they created all these cars that were all chubby and fat with huge wheels and fat rims. And they want characters to match it. So that's when I came in. I was like, dude, I can draw characters that match that. So I came up with these guys. And these are actually all the Chubb City guys. So
Introduce us to them.
Okay. Well, this was the main 6 guys in Chubb City. There was Chubb C, who was the main guy, and Hype. They were best friends but competitors at the same time. They were aspiring MCs. And then you had Castro, who was the punk rocker, but he was also the skater of the crew. And you had Jay Hustle, who was an aspiring basketball player. And then for some reason you had an artist named Tracy. I don't know how he got in there.
That's his black book, huh?
Yeah, it's his black book. And then, he's got a little double T logo there. I don't know, trademarked. And then he had his twin brother, Al, who was the DJ. And it made up this crew of like young kids that loved the car culture, but at the same time had their own little aspirations and dreams. And like they would push each other to like achieve their goals. Then eventually the line grew bigger, and they got more characters. All the stuff in the back are like custom toys I did over the years. But yeah, so I did Chub City for a while. Then eventually like I left Jada, and then like Rob said, I started doing freelance. I was at a Spin Master for a second, and then eventually like Rob found me. Like you said, like he was just looking for someone to do his line, and he wanted the guy that drew Chub City. Found me, made me a great offer. I said, screw this, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go work for you full time. Then he sprung this whole reality show thing on me. I was like, what the hell is this crap?
So you didn't have any idea you were going to be a part of a reality show?
Not in the beginning, no. I actually just signed on. He wanted someone to help him with for the idea for like a cartoon at first. And I was like, dude, I always wanted to get cartoons, like animation. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Then eventually he decided, hey, let's do toys first. So everything we did for the cartoon, translated easily into toys. And since that was my background, it was an easy thing to turn all the drawings I did into toys. And as Rob showed you all the toys over there. But yeah, like my day job is toys, but I still love doing art, and when I can, I like to do my own stuff. I just like customizing toys and some paintings and stuff like that.
Tell us about these paintings.
This is a great story also, along with my other long-ass stories. Is that I always want to do 7 paintings about the 7 deadly sins. So I started, I think this was the first one I did, and this was Pride. And this dude's obviously, in love and has pride over his shoe collection. So he's dreaming of his shoes. And I think the second one I did was Lust. You gotta love it's like a heart skull, and there's arrows going through it. Get it? Get it?
Lust can be deadly.
Exactly! Thank you, Andy. And then you have this dude who's like, oh, it's a greed. And it looks like everyone's 9-to-5 boss that everyone hates. Some fat fuck that everyone hates. But he's always thinking about money. So I did these 3, as you can see, in 2005. And I didn't finish the others until 2008 because I was just got so busy and never finished them all. But I eventually finished them. Obviously, this dude's a gluttony. He loves them 4x4s. They have wings. They fly around. Then you got Envy.
4x4s?
Yeah, it's like 4 patties, man. Look at that. You ever have one that's In-N-Out?
I was going to say, that's an In-N-Out thing, yeah?
It's fucking deadly. I couldn't eat an In-N-Out for 2 months after I devoured one. Then we have Envy. He's got clouds, like he's envious. He's just a bastard. But you gotta love that bitchin' scar on the eye. And you got Wrath. He'll bust a cap in you kids. You gotta have the love and hate tattoos on the knuckles, standard. Then you of course got Sloth. He doesn't do anything but hang upside down and sleep. But yeah, all these things are like acrylic. And then all the little icons that are floating around, I actually drew and then redrew in Illustrator, printed them out, cut them all up, and then pasted them onto the canvas.
So tell me your name and you're down with Arts Project.
Hey, my name is Tracy Tubera, and I'm down with Arts Project.